to $10 trillion to be repatriated into the yen, you couldn't use traditional FX markets. They would break. You need XRP liquidity pools large enough to absorb and route those flows. So let's do some math. To absorb $10 trillion in 30 days with about 5.5 billion XRP, and if that was turned over 10 times daily, XRP would need to be around $180 per token. This is a mathematical inevitability if it's going to serve in this purpose. The world doesn't need XRP height, it needs XRP liquidity for when this is going to happen. So let's break it down. What are all the things that actually have to happen for SBI, the Bank of Japan, and the rest of the world for this to take place? The Bank of Japan would have to authorize XRP in FX settlement systems. Okay. And we know that they've been building that in the background with Ripple for a long time. So probably in place. SBI needs to build deep liquidity pools between the yen and XRP and USD XRP corridors using RippleNet or the AMMs on the XRPL, which were put out a while back with XLS30. So it's possible. You would also need regulatory clarity in Japan for XRP. It would need to be approved as a settlement asset and also not have capital gains if it's being used in that capacity. You would need CBDC rails to go live with programmable yield to absorb the bond flows. And again, we know that that's been in pilot for a long time, so likely they probably have that in place. You would also need global partners to mirror those corridors for all of the currencies that we're going to be swapping back to the yen. So that's the US, it's euros, and any other jurisdiction where people have borrowed yen to be able to put it into financial markets. And then last, XRP liquidity would need to be locked, incentivized, and scalable. So we need a significantly higher price for XRP for it to be able to facilitate this. And again, there's a lot of ways that could happen, but you need a supply shock on the asset. If we don't have something like this in place and $10 trillion unwind, you have a credit collapse. You have FX disorder, and you have central banks out of tools to fix this problem. So XRP is perfectly positioned for this. It's neutral, it's fast, it's ready, but it needs the adoption, liquidity, and price to fit this purpose. And again, this is not speculation. This is about the infrastructure. So SBI and the Bank of Japan have the pieces. Question is, will they move in time? XRP, it's potentially providing liquidity and a buffer when there is volatility and global crisis. And if Bank of Japan moves first, XRP won't just bridge currencies. It could be the bridge that pulls us out of the next global financial crisis. So hopefully this has been valuable for you. If you have enjoyed it, please let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.